This is the EASYSMX S10. This is a multi-platform controller that's mainly designed for the Nintendo Switch because of the specs that it's got, essentially. So let's quickly run down those specs from what the box says. We've got TMR joysticks, which is insane. We've got a swappable D-pad, which is a clicky tactile D-pad as well. We've got customizable magnetic faceplates. We've got optimized motion controls, built-in NFC for amiibos, 2 programmable back paddles, and HD rumble. So this is absolutely spec'd out for the Nintendo Switch, but there's one feature that's not even on the box, which really surprised me. And that feature is this. Check this out. Just watch. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Boom! It's got Wake from Sleep for the Switch 2. Now previously this was only available for official Nintendo controllers, so whether you're using the actual official Joy-Cons or the official Pro controller, but this goes one step further and means you don't need that official Pro controller or the Joy-Cons because this actually supports it. Now there is a little bit of a faff to set it up. It's not as easy as just connecting the controller as you normally would. Instead, what you do is you put the controller into the S mode for Switch, and then you press and hold home for, I think, 2 or 3 seconds, and then it goes into like a pairing mode. Then what we do is go over to change grip order, and then just leave it. It will then connect, but before you do anything, take the right Joy-Con off, and then pop it back on, and then it will pair properly. And you only ever need to do this thing the very first time that you pair it, and that is it. And then it works. So it's a bit of a weird one. I have no idea what they've done to actually make this work for Wake for Sleep, but it's not that much of an effort, to be honest. You only need to do that once, and then it actually works. So that is a huge selling point for the EASYSMX S10, because there's so many controllers third party that work with Switch 2, but they don't actually wake from sleep. And that is one of my biggest things, because I love just being on the sofa, picking my controller up and then just turning it on because I'm lazy. Now, the other thing that's not shown on the box either is the C button. So I'm going to just press C, and look, boom, we've gone to game chat. Now, initially I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, it does chat. Until I kind of figure out what was going on, because if I stay on chat just here and press it again, oh, now we've opened news. If I press it again, it's going to back out and go back to chat. So it's effectively what they've done is like a macro recording of, like, I guess, like home, down, right, and A, and that's why it then opens news if you press it again. I'm not too sure why it doesn't just continue down the line, how it goes back to the beginning, but it is what it is. I guess, actually, no, it makes sense, because when you go to news, it's opening up a whole window, right? So if I press this, that macro I just said to go home, down, right, and A actually makes sense, but it does work. So even though it's like a bit of a workaround on their part, it does actually work. Just be aware, if you press it once, right? Oh, let's just press it now. And then you don't actually use this, but then you press it again, it will open that news. But, you know, I would actually say I'd much rather have that macro pre-programmed to a C button than not at all, and it does work. So this is the actual controller itself, which is a quite a funky little looking controller. I quite like the little, like, EASYSMX bit here. Now this is actually, like, ingrained into the controller, right? This isn't a sticker. This is like a whole piece of plastic in the controller, and I think it's quite cool. It's got like an iridescent colorway. The actual controller then is actually really cool. It's got its own like unique shape, but it actually feels really nice in the hands. I've not had an issue with this at all. We've got that circular dome D-pad. You should be getting a normal D-pad as well, but with my sample unit that I've had way before release, it didn't come with one. So, you know, there we go. We've got those joysticks just here with really nice caps as well. You've got your face buttons, which are like micro switch. You've got plus, minus, and then at the bottom here, you've got your record button, you've got the chat button and the home button. On the top, you've got L, ZL, ZR, and R, and these are clicky. So they do feel quite nice. They are a little bit on the spongy side with quite a lot of travel, But honestly, I actually quite like the feel of them, weirdly. Now, these are also micro switch on the back just here, and these feel a lot less mushy than the bumpers do. So the triggers are way more, you know, like instantaneous, whereas the bumpers are a little bit more mushy on that front. USB-C on the top. Then we've got the macro button, GL and GR, which I really like that they've called them that, because that's what the buttons are called on the official Pro 2 controller, if you want to call it that, right? So you've got those on the back there. Then you've got that switch just there that switches between S and X. Now, X is for PC, S is for Switch, and M is for macro buttons. Now, I'll just show you those really quickly because I really like using this myself. So the back paddles do nothing out of the box. But if I press and hold the M and then the button I want to configure together, right, it will vibrate. I'm going to go for the bumper just there. I'm going to press that back paddle again. And now you can see in Donkey Kong just here, when I press that back paddle, oh, I just fell down a hole. But instead of pressing this, I can now press the back paddle, which is really, really cool. So I've just assigned the button that I want to assign. Now, if I wanted to wipe that, I could press M and that back paddle and then just press it again. And now there's nothing happening on that. Now, this controller lets you know exactly what's happening by vibrating insanely intensely. And I was a bit worried when I first heard this because I was like, that is loud and very like, you know, but in use, the HD rumble's really good, and that noise is just accentuated to say, hey, you've done something to the controller, and it's in like some sort of mode, whether that's like reassign the buttons or whatever that you're doing. So I'll just let you hear that by pressing the M button and one of these back paddles quickly. So you can hear how kind of like intense that is. So yeah, don't worry, that's just for it like setting. The actual controller's rumble is really nice, actually. I like it a lot. It does have an HD rumble and it seems to be working very well. It's a little bit more intense than the Pro 2 controller, I would argue, but for a third-party controller having HD rumble, I'm really pleasantly surprised by this HD rumble. Now the face buttons, again, are micro switches, so they are clicky. So you can kind of hear, if I just do that, you can hear how clicky they are, right? But they feel really nice. They are more of a flat dome sort of styling on here, but I really like mechanical micro switches, so I'm a big fan of these. If you don't like clicky buttons, then this probably is not for you because everything is clicky. Even the D-pad is fairly clicky. But yeah, the joysticks then, really quickly, are amazing. The fact that they put TMR Hall sticks in this is just ridiculous. So TMR sticks are like above Hall effects. So you've got potentiometer sticks, which are kind of seen as like the worst, right? They are prone to drift, the dead zones aren't very good and things like that. Then you go up to Hall effect joysticks, which are less chance of drifting and they're generally more accurate with a lower dead zone. And then you've got TMR sticks, which are the next one above that. Again, these are better than Hall effect sticks, still using magnetic technology so that they won't get drift potentially. There's a very small chance they will, but way less than a potentiometer stick and less so than a Hall effect stick as well, which is really, really good. They are super accurate, like insanely accurate. I can't even express how accurate these sticks are. Very low dead zones. They just feel great. And the toppers on these as well actually feel really nice. I didn't even feel the need to put like a joystick topper on the top of this controller. And the fact that they've put TMR sticks in this is just ridiculous. They're not as smooth as the official Pro 2 controller because they've put like rubber underneath on that one and not on this. So it's not quite as smooth on the outer sort of gate there. But the fact that they're TMR joysticks is an absolute win for this controller. Like, this thing is absolutely specced out, but there is more that it can do. So I wanted to show you the face plates because this is quite funky. You can buy these in different colors, but this one comes with this faceplate. So you just take the D-pad off and then the faceplate comes off. So you get this one as stock. And then in the box, you just get a completely transparent one. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's all right. But inside the box too is a load of stickers. So if you wanted to, you can just go ahead and really, you know, graffiti it up with all these cool stickers. They look like good stickers as well. So you could just go mad and put these stickers on the faceplate or on the controller or whatever you want to do. And these came inside the box as well. But EasySMX did one better than that for us here at 128KB, and they actually printed us a 128KB one as well, which is really nice of them to do. So thank you, EasySMX. That's really cool. So let's just put this one on there. Oh, I've put it on wrong. Let's do that again, because you've got to kind of put it on at the bottom first and then push the top down like so. And then you just put that one there, and there we go. Now we've got a 128KB EasySMX S10 controller, which is really cool because this is such a good third-party controller. And no, this is not swaying my opinion with the fact that they're bribing us with a nice faceplate there, as much as that's really, really cool and I like it. This Pro controller is genuinely really good. But how much does it cost? Well, here in the UK, this comes in at £46, which is a lot cheaper than the official Pro 2 controller. That controller is very, very expensive. If you're in America, this is, I think, around the $60 mark, and that's before any discounts are there. Go and check out our link in the description if you're interested in purchasing this controller. There are LEDs in this, by the way, as well. So there's RGB LEDs, and there's loads of different settings that you can do on here. I've just left it as stock, but it's a really, really cool design. And of course, if you weren't using this faceplate, but using one of these blue ones, it would shine through like way more, obviously. So yeah, the price point, about $60, about £46 here in the UK without any discounts on it. I think that's really, really good just from the specs alone. Micro switches and pretty much everything. TMR joysticks in the thing, which I never expected them to do. Very nice feeling buttons and triggers. The bumpers are a little bit mushy, yeah, okay, but this thing can wake from sleep, and that alone is worth a lot because there's not many controllers that can do that for the Switch 2. It's got a chat button, which okay is just a macro, but that's fine, it works, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, like I really like this controller a lot. Let me know your thoughts on the EasySMX S10 down in the comments. Whilst you're down there, like this video, subscribe, become a member, and you get to chat to us over on our private Discord. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.